that greatness is validated. How do we know that any of the last 8 champions are actually validated? Because they have not done it again. Giannis is itching to get out. Boston is thinking about trading Jaylen Brown. They don't believe in their one championship. LeBron's one championship in LA was not enough. So why would it be enough for us?
Validate is the Larry O'Brien that I put on that shelf and it stays there forever. That's the validation. The Laker thing.
Oh, you mean participation trophy then?
I'm sorry, Larry O'Brien is a participation trophy?
If everybody gets one.
It is an actual trophy. You won the league that year. The 2021 I get because it's summer.
Participation trophy? Oh my goodness. Participation trophy. The crazy part was, I do think this new CBA is the worst CBA in NBA history, created due to part of NBA president at the time, CJ McCollum, tired of getting bounced by the Warriors, wanting parity. He's still getting bounced. Nothing has changed for him. But you can only have 2 max contracts. Mid-level puts you in the luxury tax. It's hard to have a well-rounded roster. But a participation trophy, I don't think the CBA has made it done organically, but to say the NBA trophy is a participation trophy because every team has been a different team and no one's gone back to back is absolutely laughable. Okay, now I think it's doable in this era, even with this CBA. I thought OKC had a shot if they weren't injured, right? But participation trophy is idiotic. I do think the CBA needs to change. You need to bring back where a team can have 3 max contract players. I do think that does need to happen. And where the mid-level exception, it was supposed to be an exception that didn't put you over. Now, I thought he made some good points about the CBA. But everything else I thought he said was idiotic. Participation trophy, idiotic. If anything, it's harder now to win a finals, right? Because that's one thing I'm not a big fan of is teams aren't able to re-sign players with this new CBA. So it's harder for teams to go back-to-back. But calling it a participation trophy, absolutely laughable. And I could be wrong, because what if the CBA was still 3 max contract players and we still didn't get back-to-back? Is it a participation trophy, or is it we're in a transition era? We're in an era like the 70s, right? 80s, there's no Magic, there's no Bird. Sometimes there's eras like that. I just think that, and I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, there's no real superstar in this era. And sometimes there's eras like that, right? I think we got spoiled. We got spoiled with Jordan's 90s, even though I wasn't alive. In the 2000s, the Spurs and the Lakers, right? We had some upsets with the Pistons and the Heat. The Mavericks made the finals twice. And then the Steph Curry LeBron era. And you had Kevin Durant in there too, but we don't have a LeBron yet. We don't have a new Steph Curry. That's okay. Those are once in a lifetime. Enjoy it while it's happening. I think that's the thing people always expect. They always expect that there's just going to be, that's why they're GOAT. They're transcendent, right? But to call this era participation trophy, I get it. It's not as legendary as you want, but that's still the most coveted championship. There's still players fighting to the death, fighting through injury. Did we not see Joel Embiid on one leg out there going stupid? Right? If people think Shaq and Kobe's, people take for granted what we saw, right? If we just look at the teams, you can argue the Rockets were like that because they had Clyde Drexler, right, who made the finals before even going there, got his ass kicked by Jordan, right? They stacked that team to go back-to-back. The Spurs, rookie Tim Duncan comes in and goes stupid. But then you look at the Lakers. That's Shaq and Kobe. And people, I get it, Shaq was the most dominant player, the best player on that team, but young Kobe was a problem. Dirk Nowitzki, right? Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade went stupid in '06 before his knees started giving out. Again, Duncan, Parker, Ginobili. And people act like Kobe. Like, you're not always going to have a new Kobe. And that's the thing. We're in this era where people are waiting for someone to be the next Jordan, the next Kobe. We're lucky that we got Kobe. I don't think people understand that. Right? Like, people don't understand how rare of an instance it is to have going from. And I don't think Kobe was as good as Jordan. But to be as great as Kobe was. And their games were different. Their games were different, believe it or not. He emulated Jordan to the utmost. But they had different games. Okay? Steph Curry changed the game. And we're waiting. People are so quick to claim the next Jordan, right? People are so quick to claim the next Steph Curry. And it's just not happening. It's not. Right? Enjoy what we're seeing. We're so quick to crown the next player. And unfortunately, so far, none of them have lived up to expectations. Let's look at the guys who were crafted after. Wiggins was supposed to be the next Kobe Bryant. No, he didn't live up to the expectations. No, he wasn't the next Kobe. He was a good player, but he was never a superstar. Okay, well, Zion Williamson, this man had presidents visiting him. You can even go back to Alonzo. Alonzo was supposed to be the next Magic Johnson. It just never happened. Zion Williamson couldn't stay healthy. He had presidents visiting him. Wembanyama was the next most hyped player. Finals at 22, like LeBron James, impressive. We'll have to see if he wins finals, but participation trophy, come on. So LeBron winning in 2020, the bubble. That's participation. A lot of people don't crown that one. Milwaukee Bucks, I'm not going to lie, didn't feel like. Bucks versus Suns didn't hit. Didn't hit at all. I'll give them that one. Warriors versus the Celtics hit immediately because you have a legendary franchise like the Celtics. You have two great young superstars in Brown and Tatum. And then you have the most watched player of this era. The most watched player since Jordan, if you look at the numbers, Steph Curry. Nuggets versus Heat. Again, those Heat teams never hit for me. So that's why 2020 didn't hit, because I thought the Eastern Conference was just trash. Celtics versus Mavs. I loved that finals. Although it was a gentleman's sweep. You had Luka and Kyrie. You had Tatum and Brown. So, even last year, it was pretty good. It would have probably went the other way, but Halliburton got injured.